There are there are 10 things that Paul Biya has done for the people of Southern Cameroon and Bazonia that uh, gets back to the minds and the mindset of the people. You know, the abolition of the federal system with Ayijo, Paul Biya was part of it. Okay, that they wanted to consume everything because during the federal system there was a lot of autonomy, a lot of control of all our resources, but they did not like that, so they abolished that system and brought in the unitary system, which is a centralized system. Okay, the second thing that Biya and his government has done to the people of Southern Cameroon is military occupation. They use Southern Cameroon never had a military before. We had but the police force, and they used their military to occupy the land of Southern Cameroon and Bazonia, and that's why today he uses his military to quell down any protest. Any protest is being quelled down by BR regime. Why? Because he doesn't want any dissent. He wants to silence dissent. Biya has always deployed his thousands of troops. Okay, the allied guys who come there, gendarmerie, the military, to Southern Cameroon. Since the protest started, even in 2016, that's what he did. Okay, then the violent crackdown on the peaceful protests. You just saw the recent protest in Muyuka. Biya will send his military there to crack down on. He doesn't listen to the people. He doesn't listen. You know, it might be just something that can be resolved, right? Imagine when the protest started in 2016, the people were asking for the English teachers because most of our people did not understand French. The lawyers were asking for English common law system. That was a request. But what happened? Biya had to use military force, and that is what caused the beginning of the crisis in the first place, right? That is what caused it. Another issue of is arbitrary arrest. We have thousands of our people who are languishing in the jail of La Republique, arrested by Paul Biya. No charges, no crime, nothing, nothing. You are just a suspect. He give you life imprisonment. The recent case is Abdul Karim. He was arrested in Bamenda, taken to Yaoundé, given life imprisonment, even without him appearing in court. That is how it works in Yaoundé. Another one is the internet blackout. When the crisis started in 2016, the government of La Republique blocked internet for 3 months. They did not think of the consequences that if you internet you use it for your banks are using it, the government institutions are using it. They only think that they want to block it for activists not to send out messages to the international community. But they could not succeed because this is the era of social media. This is the era where the power of social media influence, okay, that is it. So they could not succeed. What another thing that Pobia has done to the people of Southern Cameroon is mass killing, mass grave, village burnings. More than 500 villages were burned down. If this is not pure wickedness, people were killed, many homes were burned, people had to flee, causing a lot of mass graves and mass killings. This is what happened. But our people stood their ground. Okay. What caused the lawyer and teachers to start strike is the point of imposition of the French language on the system. Until today, you cannot impose something that people don't want to learn. People don't know how to learn. Okay, it's very few of us that study in the French area that can speak French among our people. Most of them cannot speak French. You bring French teachers to come and be teaching them. Take them to French to court. The magistrate are French. They cannot speak English. They do, but the civil law system. You bring them to come and do common law when they don't know what is common law. That is the problem. Mm? That is the problem. Another issue that Biya did was to impose that law of the use of the law of anti-terrorism, that law that will criminalize any dissent. See how many years they gave to Abdul Karim because they say he's, the charge of terrorism. Seseko Ayok, charge of terrorism. Mancho BBC, terrorism. A peaceful coffin revolution protester charged with terrorism. So Biya can use that to anybody. You march peacefully. If you are decent, if you are somebody who is an activist and they suspect you, terrorism. So it has made that there is no peaceful protest, there is no due process, there is no legal system that you can go through and you think that you can succeed. No. Okay, the government will know how to hook you down. That's what is going on in Southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, and the people are suffering today. The last thing I want to talk about is the refusal of the Biya regime to go for negotiation. For the past 9 years of this crisis, of this full-blown war, the Biya regime has refused to go for negotiation. The international community has called on Biya to go for negotiation with the people of Southern Cameroon and Ambazonia. The United Nations, Human Rights Watch, Amnesty International, the United States Senate, UK House, so many other entities, countries have asked this Paul Biya to go for negotiation. They started the Switzerland negotiation, they back out. They went to Canada negotiation, they back out. They had what we call the Grand National Dialogue there in Cameroon, but it did not work out because they invited only the CPDM people to come and talk. So it did not work out. They told them that this is an international crisis. It's a crisis between two states, two countries that used to be equal of status. This is not about you and the other person. You don't care about who represent the other person. It should be people sitting on the same table talking about negotiation on the future of both countries that came together. Okay? And that is the requirement that the people wanted. So all these things are going on. Biya don't care. If you want to say Cameroon is one and indivisible, then you would have even checked what is happening in the other regions. Since 9 years of this crisis, Biya has not set foot in any of those regions to even see for himself the calamities, the atrocities that his military has done on our people. The imposition of the French language, the banning of the media and all this use of anti-terrorism law is what Biya has used to subjugate our people. Our people have no right anymore. No right. Since the abolition of this system by the people, the discovery of oil in the southern zone, all these things culminated to the abolition of the system. But our people are strong enough to know what they want. They are determined enough to know what they want for themselves. They will not allow this man to determine their future. No. One man cannot determine the future of 8 million people. I've never seen that happen. The people will decide what they want, and the international community will listen to what the people want. It happened in Somaliland, it happened in Eritrea, it happened in South Sudan, it happened in many countries where two countries had this issue and it was resolved amicably that allowed these people to go to decide what they want. If they say they want to stay with you, good and fine. But if they say they don't want to stay with you, the same referendum brought us together. The same referendum. Do you want to stay with these people or go and stay with Nigerians? Our people say no, want to stay with these people because of the experiences our people had with Nigeria back then. Okay? So this experience is an experiment. It was not like we'll have to stay with you people forever. No. It was an experiment. And if it doesn't